Oh my, hello, mercenaries. You may be wondering why we're only showing one battle mech that's not a hero mech today. Well, let me tell you, dear audience, I am your host, Get Good Fox. We are playing MechWarrior 5, and I want to bring you content daily. I also don't want to die. Today is a day that I had to go to my normal job, and that means potentially working for like 16 hours trying to do a full-length episode. So I am going to try and do a half measure. I'm going to make smaller episodes on the days that I go to work so that I can maybe be able to bring you daily so I can bring you content and not challenge whether or not I am capable of enunciating within the English language. Anyways, that's the plan. Anyways, what are we doing? We are playing the Quickdraw. What a goofy looking mech. I mean, let's look at some of these arts here. Like, I don't know, like, even though this is like a human-shaped mech, a man-shaped mech, it's just really weird looking. I can't help but love it, though, specifically because it's so... Okay, this is driving me nuts. Hold on a second. This needs to be here, and then these need to be here, like this. Actually, let's do it like this, and then one right here. There, actually... whatever. That's good enough. That'll do. Anyways, the old Wait, I'm already messing it up. The Quickdraw. What can I say about this mech? The Quickdraw is another one of these kind of like, it's a 60-ton mech that has an 81-kilometer top speed. So, it's another one of these kind of like dragon mechs. It's like, it's like the Dragon, it's like the Griffin, it's like the Wolverine, except, we're in the heavy class. So perhaps it's more comparable to, as I said, the Dragon, as well as the Champion. The Quickdraw's weaponry includes... if this is even going to make it, I have my doubts on it. Oh my god, is it actually going to make it? Let's actually go for these battle mechs over here. Here, go over to those guys. This is a weird mission because we have a 200-ton drop weight, and I no longer have any way to get 200 tons. So, anyways, the first weapon is an LRM-10, which is its only long-range weapon, but it also has 4 medium lasers and a SRM-4. Now, the first thing I want to point out about this loadout is that its firepower is actually quite similar to the Jenner, because if you think about it, not just think about it, it's just true. The Jenner's primary weapons, the Draconis Combine's Jenner at 35 tons, is 4 medium lasers and an SRM-4. So this mech is basically the firepower of a Jenner plus an LRM-10. Now, is that good? We keep losing. It's such a tease. It's like teasing me that I'm going to be able to launch my missiles, but then it's too far away, and it's like, no. And I just keep falling for it. I should just know that I'm not going to be able to fire my missiles. Anyways, so, is that good? I would say probably yes, because the Jenner probably overreaches with its weapons. The way the Jenner, because like the Jenner heats up very quickly, like it cannot sink the heat of all of those medium lasers. But the way the Jenner tries to deal with it is by jousting. Basically, it kind of does like a drive-by pass, and then it runs away, scampers away like the little 113-kilometer-per-hour mech that it is. And that's how it cools. Oh god, they're stomping. They're up in our base, stomping everything up. I've got to stomp them. Wait, can I fire missiles? No, it's gonna hit the hill, of course. So I would say this is probably still pretty good firepower on the logic that the Jenner probably overreaches. Unfortunately, we're not able to really get our LRMs off here because we are supposed to use, like the idea of this mech is, it is very much another kind of like skirmishing battle mech, kind of like the Dragon. It's not really like the Dragon though, just because unlike the Dragon, this mech mostly has close range firepower. Remember, the dragon commits 2 weapons to long range firepower. Either well, in the case of the Grand Dragon, a PPC. But the typical dragon either commits an AC-5 or an AC-2, as well as an LRM-10, whereas this mech only commits an LRM-10. So I'm going to switch to 2 lasers here. That's actually why I split the lasers up like that. That way I could still fire some lasers, but I'm not boxed into firing all 4 of them at once. Not a good idea. This mech it is notorious for having some problems with heat. The missiles are still gonna, not gonna come in handy against that target. Wah, 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 wah. The lasers are coming in handy again. Oh, I see loot over there. Oh, this one has a PPC. Whatever, I don't care. Give me the loot. Oh yeah, I also have Jumpardo Jettos. Uh-oh. My legs. Ah! Oh God, right in the old hip actuators. Fortunately, I think we've almost knocked everyone. Oh, wait, I can lock on. Time to use. No! I was gonna use my LRMs. Why wouldn't you shoot? Oh God, it's gonna hit the building. Oh, okay, it didn't. I thought we were just about to just blow up the building. Oh man, there we go. But the mech has an okay. I mean, like 4 medium lasers is a lot of firepower on its own. Like, if you can design a mech to fire 4 medium lasers on cooldown, meaning like just constantly, that's a lot of damage. Like 4 medium lasers is a primary weapon right there. And but yeah, you throw all of it together. Oh, it's an enforcer. Interesting. Now we should be able to just maul this guy. Like using our medium lasers, because they're so accurate, I should just be able to just super core this guy out. Once he turns around, I'm not even going to shoot until he turns. Right there. And set them on the trampoline, I guess? Welcome back to the system, Kurrigan, where we're going to do ourselves some customization. So here is our quick draw. This is not actually the standard quick draw. However, this variant, the 4H, whenever I see 4H, I just think forehead. Anyways, this quick draw, even though it's not the stereotypical or the classic quick draw, it has the exact same weaponry. So it basically is the standard quick draw, and it is in the Bandits color scheme, so it's like our Iron Warriors quick draw. It's got to be the antennas. I think the antennas, but at the same time, if you remove the antennas, would it even be the quick draw anymore? I don't know. Anyways, here are the stats, the 81 kilometers per hour. Armor, I didn't talk about the armor. The quick draw is known for having rather thin armor, so if you are in battle and you see a quick draw, it can be a good idea to target it over other battle mechs, just because this mech, it just goes down faster if you've got the aim to hit it. Weaponry includes 4 medium lasers, as we can see right there. Looks like I may have upgraded them. I don't remember them coming with Tier 2 standard. The center torso has an SRM-4, and it's got 1 ton of ammo, and then it's got an LRM-10 stream with a single ton of ammo. The mech is kept not cool, but it does not instantly burst into flames with its 3 heat sinks, and then it's got 5 jump jets. So here's what we can do with this mech, because I want to make sure we don't deviate from the mech. Normally, I would put burneronis and small lasers on, but I feel the 4 medium lasers I think that's our main source of damage. So this is actually going to be a medium laser build. I also feel like I need to keep the LRM-10 on, because I think that is part of the quick draw's game plan. So a lot of these are going to stay the same. The question is what I want to do with the SRM-4, but let me get a tinker in. And the first thing I notice is that we can pull all the jump jets out, and remember that these are jump jet class 3, meaning they actually weigh 1 ton each rather than a half ton, so we actually gain 5 tons of space. And we could actually throw all 5 tons into armor, bringing the quick draw's armor up to 114. We'd gain 158 armor. That is a logical change right then and there, but that's just not interesting enough for me, so we're not gonna do that. Alright, and here we go. So, this is what I've decided. Now, I've actually learned a good bit about this game because I'm playing in kind of a different way than I normally would, and I've gained some appreciation for weapons that I typically, I just never gave them a chance, and that would be the SRM-2. I never would use the SRM-2 because I just felt it just, why have only 2 missiles? But honestly, I think I have gained an appreciation for it because I use the SRM-2 on the, the Dervish. So, the primary weapon system on this mech are the 4 medium lasers. And I said, okay, what we need to do from the get-go is support the 4 medium lasers. So, what I did is I boosted our heat sinks up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Almost 2 heat sinks per medium laser. And then I also wanted to buff up the armor because, the 250 is, we could work with it, but once we get to like tougher missions, all it takes is like an unlucky shot from like an AC-20 or a PPC and suddenly you're just like not in good shape anymore. The armor has been beefed up pretty considerably, but not so much that I feel like we're wasting tonnage on armor for weaponry. To make it happen, though, we didn't just reduce the SRM-4, we also reduced the ammo from a full ton to a half ton. So I believe we saved 1.5 tons, because the SRM-2 is 1 ton, SRM-4, you basically get 1 more ton for every extra 2 launchers you want on your SRM-4. The LRM has stayed exactly the same. I might upgrade it if we have an option, but at the same time I am saving the LRM-10s for other battle mechs, so that might stay the way it is. But the main thing is by removing the jump jets and by getting that extra 1.5 tons, by bringing the SRMs down, we're going to be able to have a lot of heat sinks to keep the medium lasers from, burning the mech up. That's our primary damage, too. This mech needs to be firing these medium lasers every single time it gets. That's a ton of damage. Like, don't underestimate 4 medium lasers when you're able to just shoot them out over and over and over again. And at the same time, the SRM-2 has proven itself, like it does 6 damage. That's still quite a bit, it's technically more than 1 medium laser, but it fires very quickly, so we're going to be able to use that SRM-2, not just to tack on a little more damage, but also we can use it to just kind of finish off any targets that the medium lasers kind of like brought to like just the brink of blowing up. SRM-2 is going to be able to tap it, and that's perfect because these medium lasers, they don't fire very quickly. They shoot 12 times per minute. They're a pretty sluggish weapon, and so being able to tap something out with the SRM-2 will mean we can dedicate our medium lasers to the big priority targets. And the doors are opening. Now, while we talk about the history of the Quickdraw, we do want to think about how our mech design went. The main thing we're going to be looking for is the heat. I chose an assassination mission because I want to be in, I want some phases of constant combat because we need to test how the heat works on the battle mech. Because remember what our strategy is. Our strategy is to zap them with lasers. Anyways, so the Quickdraw doesn't have as extensive of a history as other battle mechs, even though it is a fairly old mech. It begins, wow, okay, I forgot, we got a bunch of dervishes with us, forgot about that. Anyways, it begins its history as a battle mech that was pitched to be, interestingly, the replacement for the Rifleman, which we haven't actually talked about yet. But the reason I find that interesting is because, well, the Rifleman is it's a long-range ballistic battle mech, and this sure doesn't seem like very similar to a long-range ballistics battle mech. I don't see how the Quickdraw would replace the Rifleman. But that's how it starts. Yeah, so the quick draw was pitched to me like, oh yeah, you know, tired of your old smelly riflemen? Switch up to a quick draw. You're going to be doing a lot of long range damage with your SRMs and 4 medium lasers and 1 LRM-10 launcher. You're going to be just pounding them from downtown. Now, that oddity aside, it turns out it didn't replace the Rifleman. The Rifleman had its problems, which is why there was a... So unlike the Shadowhawk, where the Dragon was pitched to replace it, the Rifleman did have problems. The Shadowhawk was a pretty good mech that, you know, didn't really have a whole lot of issues. The Rifleman did. It was still a good mech, but it did have some issues. And that's why there were these ideas to try to replace the mech. Turns out it wouldn't be the quick draw, though. That said, the quick draw probably gets its name. I couldn't confirm this for sure, but I believe the quick draw gets its name due to a distinctive feature of the mech's arm actuators. And if you remember, actuators are basically like the articulated joints of a mech, so you can have like hand actuators, hip actuators, and so what does this have to do with the name the Quick Draw? Well, the Quick Draw's arm actuators, and this is not a feature in MechWarrior 5, at least not to my knowledge, so the mech's arms were able to basically go like reverse. Like, I can't do it. I can't, like, this is as high up and as low. I can't, but the arms were able to basically go flip completely in reverse, and therefore the Quick Draw would actually be able to shoot behind itself. And while I couldn't confirm this, I do believe this is where the Quick Draw was kind of supposed to get its namesake, where, like, you'd come out behind it, but then it would be like, oh, I ambushed you, I'm gonna, like, stretch my arms behind me and blast you. Now, although the Quick Draw did not replace the Rifleman, it was still a well-enjoyed mech, and a lot of Inner Sphere houses during the early Secession Wars, they would consider the Quick Draw to be a workhorse battle mech, which is basically kind of like what you would describe a sort of primary battle mech that just gets the job done, and you use it for whatever you need it getting it done, and the old Quick Draw gets it done. My research, it was described to have good armor. I'm gonna go ahead and press X to doubt on that one. This mech's armor is on par with a Panther, which is good by the Panther, terrible by 60-ton mech standards. It was, however, known for having bad heat dissipation, which I'm not going to press X to doubt on that. It's especially true in the Battletech strategy video game. This mech is constantly burning up. But despite all of this, that wasn't really the primary weakness of the Quick Draw. The primary weakness was actually one of its greatest strengths, and that was that the Quick Draw had very interesting ankle actuators. I believe it's ankle actuators. And they were very, very articulated, meaning they could flex and rotate, and they could go in all these different directions. And it meant that the Quick Draw could climb up and down hills very easily. It was a very smooth ride. It was capable of going up higher inclines than other battle mechs could without, like slipping down or, like sliding down the, oh god, that's a mech is gonna zap me with all those big meaty lasers. Yeah, I'm not gonna let you do that. I'm gonna go around here and attack from behind. Here we go. Use my heavy mech status to bash through there and zap. I'm going for his... Oh god, did I just blast his head? I think I just exploded his head. I think I zappinated the, face off. Oh, got reinforcements. Anyway, so the ankles were very articulate, and that meant that the Quick Draw was very good at scaling hills, rough terrain. It didn't have a problem with any of that. But the disadvantage is that, you may have heard in construction, the more moving parts something has, the more structural vulnerabilities it has. And that's the truth about the Quick Draw. So the Quick Draw's issue was the ankles were very fragile, and they were prone to breaking down and potentially immobilizing the mech. It was known that if you targeted them with gunfire, or if you were in melee combat, if you give them a good swift kick in the old shinneronis, sometimes you would actually just completely immobilize the Quickdraw, even though the rest of the battle mech was basically fine. And the thing is, despite different iterations of the battle mech, that's something that would never be fixed. And that's because it turned out that it wasn't really an issue of, like, better engineering being required. It was just the issue of, like, that's just a weakness you're going to have to accept. If you want the Quickdraw to be able to be like this all-terrain mech, great jump jets, climbing up and down the terrain, scrambling all over the place, well, it's just the fact of the matter that it's going to have weak ankles. And that's basically the history of the Quickdraw. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of story behind it. It is a venerable mech. It's not the oldest mech, but it is still an old mech. It's well respected, and while they did create variations of the Quickdraw that would resolve its vulnerabilities for heat, the weak ankles, it will just always be something that's just part of the Quickdraw. I don't know if any of that actually matters in MechWarrior 5. Like, I don't know if, like, shooting the Quickdraw's legs is gonna mean it's gonna hurt dirt, gonna blah, blah, blah. I don't think it actually does anything, but it's just an interesting part of the mech story. And in the tabletop game, it does play a role, because the tabletop has additional quirk features to the mechs. Overall, though, in terms of our redesign's performance, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it plays very effectively. Like, we're not having any problems with heat, and we're still able to use the LRMs. Like, right now, I'm able to actually get some more hits in there. Maybe I don't know if we would be able to fit on that SRM4. It's like, we'd have to take some heat sinks out, and also it would generate more heat. But honestly, I think the SRM2, I think it does the job just fine. I just don't see any problem with the SRM2, honestly. I originally didn't like this weapon, but I feel like I'm learning a lot in this playthrough. Like, I feel like there are so many weapons I never would have used, and I'm gaining respect for them, specifically because of the way of some of the rules, the in-house rules I have for this playthrough. I enjoy that quite a bit. Like, it's causing me to make new mech designs I never would have tried before. Anyways, there you go. Nasty Lad Squad, I think, performed very effectively, and I think the Quickdraw did really well. So we got to see the Quickdraw, got to hear the history, and you also got to see one of the only medium laser focused builds that I do. I get the impression some people might think I don't like medium laser. I do, but when I use medium laser, I want it to be the center of the battle mech. I don't like to use medium laser as an auxiliary weapon, and that's because it's very easy to get carried away with medium. Just to throw some more medium lasers in there, it's fine. That tends to cause the mechs to, like, burn up very quickly. When I do medium laser, I want it to be fully supported with a healthy number of heat sinks. Maybe it's too many, maybe it's too few. We could probably tinker around with it. Maybe we'd actually be able to bring the SRM4 back into the equation. But I think this mech performed very effectively, and I think it also shows that, like, having a small number of weapons like a medium laser that are properly supported with heat sinks, they do a ton of damage just because keeping the firing rate at its maximum allows the medium laser really to shine. Anyways, let me know what you think down in the comment section. Sorry if it wasn't as long of an episode as usual, but it's actually going to be possible for me to edit this without dying from lack of sleep. But yeah, until next time, boys. Oh crap, what do I say? Subscribe to the channel, yeah. Like the video, subscribe for more MechWarrior 5, Heroes of the Inner Sphere, Rags to Riches content. Of course, remember that you don't have to be good to get good.